So I have this sighted in using the laser bore sight that's provided with the scope. So let's take a couple shots and see how close it is. Yeah, it looks like it's hitting maybe 3 or 4 inches low. Yeah. Right there. Okay, so I got this Pinty 4-in-1 Mall Ninja scope to the range, and the only thing I can say is run as far away from this thing as possible. This thing is horrible. The scope wasn't too bad. It kind of sort of passes, but this thing is horrible for indoor use. And as you guys know, I shoot at an indoor range. Now, when in the unboxing video, we took a look through the scope outside, and the glass was fairly clear. It was actually really clear. I was surprised at how clear it was for a budget scope. But indoors, there's not enough light for the glass in this to gather to keep it bright. And on the lowest setting, the 4 power setting, it's okay, but as you increase the magnification, it just gets less clear and less clear, and turned all the way up to 16, it was darn near blacked out. So it's horrible for indoor use. Now, as far as it holding 0, I had this zeroed in probably in about 5 rounds or so, and I only put 40 rounds through this because I got so frustrated with this thing. I said I'm not wasting any more ammo on it. But I put 40 rounds through it, and the last 2 shots I took, the scope stayed on target. The last 2 shots were here and here, so that worked out fairly well. Now the laser on this thing, that held 0 as well. You can see these 2 shots here were the last 2 shots that I took using the laser, and I wasn't like looking through the scope as I was shooting with the laser. I was looking over the top and just aiming the laser at the bullseye and pulling the trigger. That held 0, but sighting that thing in was a pain in the butt. Now, when I put the wrench on here to make the windage and elevation adjustments, I started with the windage. Okay, I put the wrench in there, started turning it, and it was moving in a straight line across. Okay, and it gets so far, you have to reposition your hand, grab the wrench, and start turning it again. When I did that, it was going straight across at first, and then when I started turning it again, it started going up at an angle. What in the world is going on here? So I turned it back the other way, and it went straight across. So now it's, way up high to where it was before. So I kind of moved it back over, and it did move in a straight line. I started adjusting the elevation, and the elevation was going down at an angle. So what in the world is going on here? So I went back to the windage, started adjusting that to bring it back over to the left, and it was going down in an angle. And it's like, what is going on with this thing? Because it was moving back and forth fine at first, but then it just started going in weird angles. I finally got it sighted in. Now what I did is I sighted in the scope first, and then I looked through the scope to sight in the laser, and I just put the laser in the middle of the crosshairs. And that took me a while because of that up and down, that angle motion it was taking. So I took a few shots, and you saw the target, and once I had that zeroed, it stayed zero. Now the red dot, I turned on the laser and then brought the red dot over to the green laser, and the windage and elevation adjustments worked correct in this. It was up and down and back and forth. And this one has 2 set screws in it. After you zero it, you lock down those set screws, and the red dot is supposed to stay in place. Well, I started shooting and it was just all over the place. In fact, my target here, and I numbered them as I was shooting. The first shot was right here. The second shot was up here. Because what I do when I sight something in is I fire 2 rounds, bring the target in, look at it, make adjustments, send it back out, fire 2 more rounds, and so on and so on. So first shot, second shot. Okay, I looked at the target, made some adjustments, and third shot up here, and fourth shot here. Pulled it back, made some adjustments. Fifth shot here, sixth shot over here. So that red dot does not hold zero whatsoever. It's just bouncing all over the place. So yeah, just don't even waste your time spending, buying this thing, because it is horrible. And that very aggressive muzzle device on there is just unnecessary. That bezel on the objective lens is just unnecessary. I think Boomstick said it best in his comment when he said that it looks like a hole saw, which is pretty much on the money. It does, and it's sharp enough to be a hole saw. That thing, you can do some damage. I mean, it's almost like a breacher tip, but it's a scope. You can't breach anything with an optic. So that's it. I doubt Pinty is ever going to want to work with me again, because well, to be honest with you, I really don't want to work with him anymore, because this thing sucks big time. So that's all I got for you. Just stay away from these products. They're horrible. So, alright guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.